John Kane IV began his journey in Osage County, where he was raised with a strong connection to both his small town and his family's ranching heritage.
I grew up in town, very blessed to have a wonderful childhood there in Pawhuska. In the summers, I would go out and work on the ranch. Dad would take me out. My dad was a very devout rancher. He loved that ranch so much. My grandfather actually started in the ranching business. He was a principal in the Kane ranch, but it was my dad that really had the passion.
When you grow up in agriculture, it's really hard to get too big for your boots, too big for your britches, because all of the cowboys, all of the ranchers have to work together to make sure the animals are taken care of. You have to sometimes get up before daylight, often have to get up before daylight. There's a little bit of humility required if you grow up in agriculture.
Before I started college, I was not a serious person. I was brimming with potential, but I was voted the class cut-up of Pawhuska High School. And nobody was recruiting me to go to their college. And by the time I graduated, I was a top 10 senior man at Oklahoma State University.
While John was working hard and finding his footing at Oklahoma State, he also found something far more important than grades or recognition: his future wife, Cindy.
There was a fix up your roommate party, and her roommate said, well, we're just gonna get old John to meet up with Cindy. And so they told me it was a costume party, which it wasn't. And so I showed up at this party dressed as a Smurf, and everyone else, of course, is dressed in their 1980s knit shirts with their collars popped up and their boat shoes. And here's John the Smurf. And I guess I took it in a good-natured way, because we've been together ever since. When I graduated from Oklahoma State, there was no doubt that I wanted to follow in the footsteps of my father and my grandfather, who were attorneys there in Pawhuska. First my grandfather passed on, and then my dad passed on, and all of a sudden I was a sole practitioner. And so our local judge decided to retire, and I'd always had this dream of serving on the bench like my great-grandfather. So I applied for the position in 2004. Every 4 years, I had the privilege of standing for re-election, and I was re-elected 4 times. Finally, in 2019, Justice Reeve retired from the Oklahoma Supreme Court, and I was very pleased to make myself available to the governor, and very honored that he selected me to be on the Supreme Court.
Within 2 years, he was named Chief Justice, a role that held special meaning for him.
My great-grandfather was a member of the Oklahoma Constitutional Convention and helped to write the Constitution that I get to interpret now. And then he was popularly elected to be on Oklahoma's first Supreme Court.
Chief Justices are elected every 2 years by their peers based on the Oklahoma Constitution. And the Constitution says that the Chief Justice is the administrative director of the entire court system. You also are the face of the court with the legislature, politicians, court reporters, bailiffs, attorneys, the Bar Association, and the public who we serve.
I think the career of Justice Kane shows that if you have a background in agriculture, it prepares you well for having an extraordinarily profound impact in the legal profession.
Cindy and John's children have inherited both the legacy and passions of their parents.
Both Patrick and Matthew are Ferguson guys. My daughter Meg is a labor and delivery nurse, and then my son Phil is a country music star. At least he's a star in my mind.
I keep trying to ask him who his favorite kid is, and he will not tell me. Just as any good justice would do, he is not picking a favorite, but he's so proud of all of them, rightly so.
I'm so thrilled for this, not because it says, John, you've succeeded. I'm thrilled because I would like to send a message to people that getting your Ferguson College of Agriculture degree will prepare you for anything, including being the Chief Justice of the Oklahoma Supreme Court.
Celebrating John Kane, 2025 Ferguson College of Agriculture Distinguished Alumnus.